Welcome to Deadly Dames. So this is a video that was requested. It was asked of us, what movies do we think deserve the Arrow treatment? So when I originally started looking at this, I didn't think there would be that many, and then the pile just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I thought, okay, so this is maybe going to be a two video. So start off with, before I get into the horrors that I think Arrow, I would love to see Arrow doing a special edition of, or just a really good remaster of it. I've got a couple of ones that are a little bit out there, but I'm going to put them in anyway. So I would love to see Arrow do The Crow. Now, for whatever reason, although there is a Blu-ray releases of The Crow, it's a movie that hasn't really been touched by anyone yet. Like, I think this deserves like an amazing release. There's an amazing, I think it's French or German release that you can get of it, but that's it. And I love this film. Come on, it's Brandon Lee's last movie. I think that this is an amazing film about revenge, and that it should really have, like, what Arrow did with Donnie Darko is what they should do with The Crow, and I'd love to see that from them. Now this one here is probably a little bit stranger, but again, it's a movie that no one seems to talk about, but I think it's amazing. And if Arrow can do the sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show with Shock Treatment, and they can do A Fish Called Wanda, and is it Girl Fight they did, was it Cat Fight that they did, then I think that they could do this movie, and that is Tank Girl. I love this movie. I think it's just a perfect balance of silliness and action, and again, you can only get a DVD of it, you can't get a Blu-ray. I would love to see what Arrow would do with this film. I'd also love to see what Arrow Video would do with Swamp Thing. Now, it isn't Wes Craven's best movie, but it's entertaining and it's enjoyable. And I recently noticed that there's been a DVD release of Swamp Thing 2. Sorry, not a DVD, a Blu-ray release of Swamp Thing 2. So why on earth is there not a really good special edition of Swamp Thing? I'd love to see that. And they did the sequel to this one. At least I'm sure it was a sequel. I'm trying to remember what order they go in. But I figured if they're going to do Guyver Matronics, then why not do Guyver Dark Hero? This one's actually, in my opinion, better than Matronics. So I would like to see them remaster and re-release the Guyver Dark Hero. And this is a movie which is absolutely crying out for a decent release. I was kind of hoping that the HMV Premium Collection was going to do it, because of the way that they started off by doing Logan's Run and Soylent Green, it kind of looked like they were going to go down that path, but for whatever reason they never released this. I would love to see anybody do it, but it would be better if it was Arrow, because I know that they can sometimes take movies that you don't expect them to do a remaster and a massive release on, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 or Society, or as I said, Donnie Darko, and then they give it that sort of treatment. And I think this is a movie that deserves that treatment, and that is the original Death Race 2000. We don't have a Blu-ray here in the UK. It would be amazing to see it. This is a fantastic film. If you've never seen it, seek out the DVD in the meantime, because I love this movie. And then another one which I do have a Blu-ray of, but it was from Umbrella Entertainment in Australia, but I'd like to see what Arrow Video would do with it here in the UK, and that is Beastmaster. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Now this one here is not going to be any surprise, because I think every single person out there asks Arrow to release it every time that they're asked what would you like to see as release, and that is Nightbreed. Now I've got multiple editions of this. This is a German one, so that's why it's got Cabal at the top. But I would like to see what Arrow would do with this. I do have the Scream Factory release because I like the director's cut. I like what it should have been. I like what Clive Barker done with it, but let's get a UK release of that. It'd be good for us in the UK to have that. Now here's a Vipco one which has not had any love here in the UK yet, and I'd love to see Arrow touch it. That sounds bad, doesn't it? I'd like to see what Arrow would do with it. Sounds better. And that is Ghost House. It's a strange movie, and if you've ever seen it, the sound effect that they play in it with the doll, it will get stuck in your head for days, and not for the right reasons. But it is a movie that I think it's an Umberto Lenzi movie. It's a movie that I think deserves better than this Vipco release, so I'd like to see Arrow do that. And then this is a slasher that, again, for some reason in the UK hasn't had a decent release, and I love it. It's cheesy, and it's pretty much, you could guess the whole storyline the whole way through, but a lot of slashers are like that. But it is entertainment. It also goes by The Dorm That Dripped Blood, and it does have a American release, but none here in the UK. and that is Pranks. And again, it deserves better than this VIPCO release, so I'd love to see what Arrow would do with this. Now, Arrow's been releasing a lot of Mario Bava, but for whatever reason they haven't done this one, and I've only recently watched this and realised how amazing it is. It's absolutely fantastic. We don't have a Blu-ray here, we only have the DVD, so I would like to see what they would do with a Blu-ray release, and that is Hatchet for the Honeymoon. Amazing Mario Bava film. Now, for whatever reason, Arrow Video have only released a limited amount of John Carpenter movies. Well, one, really. Definitely just one, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Big Trouble Little China, that's all they've released, whereas Scream Factory in the US has done The Fog and loads of other ones. I think the Prince of Darkness as well. I would love to see those movies, The Fog, Prince of Darkness, but one movie which I think, because you can get The Fog, you can get Prince of Darkness and Blu-ray, and as much as I would love to see what Arrow Video would do with them, the next one I'm about to put down doesn't have a Blu-ray at all, and it seems to have gone completely forgotten. I actually thought Powerhouse Films might do this because they released Vampires and Ghosts of Mars and Christine, which are all John Carpenter movies again, which seem to have been shoved to the side and forgotten. And I kind of thought that maybe, just maybe, they would do this one, but sadly it hasn't happened yet. And that is In the Mouth of Madness. Again, this is a German release, so I'm sure it's German. Or Spanish. I'm not very good with other languages. Anyway, it's a foreign release. This is the only way I can get it here because there's not even a DVD that I can find, so I would love Arrow Video to take this movie and give it what it deserves. I love In the Mouth of Madness. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's amazing. And I would love to see it getting a special edition. I'd actually really like to see a steelbook edition of this because I could imagine the artwork you could get on the steelbook would be really, really nice. So yes, In the Mouth of Madness, please. Okay, so this next one here is actually a Scream Factory 4-disc DVD marathon pack. Now, as much as the other movies are good on it, the one I would love to see, and I'd actually like to see it with a lenticular cover because the old VHS had a lenticular cover, and I think that'd be pretty cool to carry it forward. Now, on this disc it's called The Outing, but I know it in the UK as The Lamp, and it's just the one down here. Now, so I can't get this to focus. It's a predictable, cheesy, I want to say slasher, but it's about a killer genie. But it's a lot of fun, and as I said, I would really like to see it released in the style of a VHS, with a lenticular cover, just like a throwback to how it was originally released on VHS here in the UK. That would be nice to see. Now here's another movie that I don't hear very many people talking about, and it's an absolute crazy film. I definitely would say if you've never seen it, seek out the DVD and at least watch it just now. But I would like to see somebody give this movie some sort of love because it deserves it, and it is an absolute crazy movie, and that is Brain Dead. Now, it's not the Brain Dead that you think, it's not the Peter Jackson one, which I would also like to see Arrow Video released. I just haven't put it in this video because I think there's been a lot of feedback saying that Peter Jackson's doing his own release of Bad Taste and Brain Dead and Meet the Feebles, but it hasn't happened yet. So yes, I would like to see this one get a good release. Here's an absolute terrible version of this movie, which I've actually never traded in or sold because it is that bad a copy, and it's really the only copy that you can get here in the UK of this film. It's not the best film, but I would actually like to see what Arrow could do with it, because I think the reason why I didn't like it is because this copy is so bad, and that is Blood Beach, about Killer Sand. It's a monster under the beach eating people. Yeah, it is an entertaining movie, but as I said, the sound in this is so bad, and the picture quality is really bad. And this isn't a bootleg, this is actually an original release from Desert Island Classics. At least I don't think it's a bootleg, although it could be. But it's terrible, absolutely terrible. If there's another edition of it out there somewhere, I would pick it up before watching this one. But I'd love to see what Arrow Video would do with this. I think it would make a whole different movie, and I think I would enjoy it if I got to see a remastered release from them. Now the next movie is one which I've said on every single recommendation to everyone. I would send it to every single company because I would love to see this movie getting the treatment it deserves. It's actually one of my favourite slashers, and for whatever reason there just isn't a decent release of it here, and that is Black Christmas. Yeah, I would love to see this movie getting a decent release. As I said, it's one of my favourite slashers, and this is the only one I can get, which is a Tartan Video one, and it is like decent quality, but I think it deserves a really good Blu-ray, and I'd love to see that. Now here's another Lamberto Bava movie, which again seems to have been forgotten about. No one talks about it. No one really's released it other than this crappy Prism one I think I've got. Is it Platinum DVD actually? It's a weird film, but I like it. It's entertaining, and that is a Graveyard Disturbance. I would like to see this movie get a decent release. It deserves it. I mean, there's a lot of movies getting released just now that are not as good as this film by a mile, and they're getting Blu-ray releases now. Although I'm saying I'd like to see Arrow release this, I could actually imagine this is probably going to be on the 88 Films Italian collection before Arrow would do it. So, to be honest, I'd just be happy if anyone releasing it. Now here's a slasher again, which seems to have been forgotten about, and no one really talks about it too much, and I'd love to see this movie get a release because it's a good slasher. It's entertaining, keeps you going right to the end. It's actually got some really creepy parts in it, and that is Hell Night. This is the only way I can get it. I can't find it in any other release other than this Odyssey one, and I bought this absolutely years ago when DVDs first came out. I wouldn't get rid of it now, but yeah, I would love to see this getting some really nice treatment. Now I can imagine again that it's probably not going to be Arrow Video that releases this. I can imagine this may show up on 88 Films Slasher collection line. But again, either way, I don't care as long as it gets a good Blu-ray release. Okay, so another slasher which no one talks about much. I know that Andrew Bellina really likes this movie because he's spoke to me about it before, so my foot's gone numb. But I would like to see this movie get a good UK Blu-ray release. Again, I'm not entirely sure it would be released by Arrow Video. I think it would be more likely to be picked up by 88 Films Slasher line, or more recently 101 seems to be picking up movies like this. So, and again, I just want to see a Blu-ray of it. I want to see a good special edition of this movie, and that is April Fool's Day, the original. The remake is crap, I don't watch it, but I love this movie. I just think it's an entertaining film. And again, I've actually never seen it released again other than this release here. But yeah, I'd love to see someone release this one and give it the love it deserves. The next one is an absolute cheesy film. It's a hard watch, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's entertaining because it is so daft and stupid. And it's got Barbara Crampton in it, so you can't really go wrong with that. And that is The Brain. Again, as much as I would love to see Arrow Video releasing this film, I could actually imagine it would show up on 88 Films' new line that they're doing, The Vault, because this is probably like a VHS type movie, like it should be released like that. So I could imagine it would maybe appear on the Vault line that they've announced. So, but again, would just like to see somebody release this and give it the cheesy love it deserves. The next one's probably going to be the last one for this video because I'm running out of time. But this is a classic film which was remade into John Carpenter's The Thing. So it's A Thing from Another World. The only way you can get it here that I've found is on these old releases here that came out in the pound shop years ago. But I think this is a movie that deserves some attention. It's a good film, it's entertaining. Obviously it spawned a remake classic, so I would like to see someone give this movie a little bit of love. Now, I could probably imagine it would end up in the 101 line that they're doing just now, where they've sort of been releasing like Tarantula and It Came From Another World. I could imagine they would maybe release The Thing From Another World, but again, I just want to see it on Blu-ray, so I'd be happy either way. But yeah, I'll do part 2 because I'm running out of time for this one. But as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments below on movies you would like to see Arrow or anyone release on Blu-ray. Thank you.